It's Gianna Lum at Vinci Crypto, where we keep you in the loop on all the latest trends and news on crypto and blockchain technology. Together, we're building a crypto movement that fights for climate justice and economic empowerment. So today we have a really special guest on the show. We have Elliot from Elliot Invest, and we're going to talk about Algorand for a bit.
Woo! Algo, Team Algo. Let's go.
Yeah, great to have you on the show. Very first thing though, when we have guests on the show, we ask you one quick question. So I want
Ooh.
to know, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word crypto and why?
Oh, I saw this on one of your latest videos, and I thought I'm like,
Your
he's
turn
gonna
now.
tell me. I know, I'm nervous. Okay, I definitely didn't premeditate this, but I think it means the future. No, I'm just kidding.
Hmm.
But I do think, I think it means tech. And I don't like it makes me think of that like hilarious meme of like the guy who's like all platted in gold, like with like Bitcoin gold on him. He's like, I'm in it for the tech. And
We're actually an Algorand for the tech. Like, let's be clear.
yeah, for sure. But I really do think like everyone just trades cryptocurrency because they want to like pump and dump and like get to the moon. But the backbone of what we're trading is limitless. That's the real what I'm really interested in. I think that's what you're interested in too, is like there's something much larger going on here than just like these crazy, Dogecoins and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's like the future of money and more like just the future of society. Like blockchain has so much to offer our society. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Amazing, amazing. I'll have that like when I'll be like, "Phew, that's the word he thought of.
The future. Not ambiguous at all. So I actually want to first ask you a real quick question. Where are you record? Are you recording from New York?
Yeah, I'm recording from New York. Yeah, I live in New York City.
I knew it. I was like that.
Yeah,
The
the
window.
fire escape from the background. Now we have curtains, so we have
Yes,
light coming in and out. But before, you could see my fire escape. Yeah.
I remember that. You know, I got a camera tip, but for you, but you could definitely this like you setup you have is like perfect for like crypto YouTube. Just get like this one little camera. I'm telling you, this it just went on sale.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, make it pop.
Yeah,
You could
we're
probably
currently on
pop.
my webcam, so this is the quality that we're getting from the laptop's webcam.
Oh yeah. I mean, I shouldn't talk. I'm also talking from my
Yeah,
laptop.
yeah,
The big the film guy. But it's interesting that you can now pay for some of this camera gear with crypto.
yeah. A lot of things. You can buy real estate. You can buy bikes. You can buy sandwiches. You can buy all kinds of things.
So funny you mentioned you can buy real estate with crypto because that's what Algorand is actually perfect
Mhm.
for.
They are.
And
They are.
curious what you know, what are your like top three favorite Algorand projects?
Top three. Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Right.
Ah. Okay, I did really like my combo that I had with Brian yesterday for All Good Granola. I actually convinced him to build on Algorand. He was like, "Yeah, I thought I was going to do OpenSea and just like do it on Ethereum." I'm like, "Okay, you have an upcycle project, you have this granola sustainability project, and you're using like all your packaging sustainable. Why are you going to build on Ethereum?" So I sent him our Algorand playlist, and he was like, "Okay, yeah, this makes more sense. I'm gonna build on Algorand." So I think.
Wait, you don't want to charge people like $500 in gas fees for every purchase? You know, I don't see the downside. I don't understand.
We love gas fees, right? Right?
Love that gas fee. That's strange, but okay, I guess.
Like,
I
yeah,
don't know.
you really want to avoid those gas fees, and like do
I,
something a
I
little more environmental.
so I checked out his website too because I was like, this is cool. Yeah, Green Project, right?
Mhm.
Like ups. What is it technically called? Like,
Upcycling. So it's one. So what's really cool is he just goes to breweries and he gets the waste from the leftover stuff from the beer. Like there's all the grains and stuff, and he turns those into granola bars. So upcycling is when you like get the waste from something else and turn it into something better. It's like next
yeah.
level recycling, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
that is really, I mean, we learn that all the time in lead construction is like the circular economy and stuff like that. And it goes farther than just the materials, by the way. It's from like the conception of the idea. So like, how do you get them? Like, is the cost of gas to go have the truck go there and come back, and like, does that outweigh the benefits and stuff like that? See, it's like a whole like very 360 approach to thinking green and stuff like that.
Definitely.
That is pretty cool.
Base right now.
Huh?
Where are you calling in from? Where do you live?
Sunny Los Angeles. As
Okay.
you can
Sun.
tell, it's so sunny.
I'll actually be back in California next week. That's where I'm from, but my family's in San Francisco, so won't be as
Oh,
in San Francisco.
cool. SF. Yeah, you're probably actually, you know what, you're probably warmer. This is like the warmest time of the year for you guys, right?
Yeah, actually, during the winter, because we're it's in the bay, so when it heats up, actually the fog, like the way the fog is, it makes it warmer in San Francisco, just because we're like in a basin. It's
Yeah,
weird.
I remember
Yeah,
like the Mark Twain expression was like for real when I was there in the summer. I
yeah.
was like, why are like people paying mad rent to be here? I don't get it.
Coldest winter in the summer in San Francisco. Yeah, because during the summer, it'll actually be colder. You'll see like these people are tourists. They're wearing shorts in San Francisco in the summer. Like you don't do that.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. That's cool. My girlfriend went to Berkeley, so she's like
Okay.
all about that SF life.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. So, besides the Granola project, what
Mhm.
are like other Algorand projects that you are really hyped about?
The ones I'm really hyped about. I really do like Planet Watch. I like how
Okay.
we have the air quality monitors. I remember like I posted something about it, and then some friends were like, "Oh yeah, we have those monitors. Like we didn't even know about Algorand." So I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool." Um, let's see what else. There's so many.
She's like, it's like, oh, it's too much to pick from,
Yeah,
too many
yeah.
selections.
Lofty AI is pretty cool. With real estate,
Oh, snap! Now you're getting on my soft side. Yeah, I love Lofty. I'm an investor with them now.
you are nice. There's also what's that one called? The one with the olive oil industry that's fighting like the mafia in Italy.
Whoa, that's pretty cool. That
Yeah,
sounds like kind of like what the Granola project is doing, but just for
yeah,
olive oil.
yeah. It's with olive oil. It's like similar to what VChain's doing on the supply chain, but they're making sure that the olive oil isn't tampered with and it's all tracked on the blockchain. ALGO
Wow.
Project there. Um,
So why do you like, or what are the differences? And I actually don't. I would love the answer to this. What, in terms of like a sustainable blockchain that has genuine use cases, why Algorand over VChain, or like, or what are the differences really for people that don't know, and also for me?
yeah, so Algorand is a carbon negative blockchain. I love that about it. I also like not just because it's carbon negative, but also because their team is committed to supporting other climate projects as well. And the whole Algo community too. Like when I talk to people like you, Elliot, and just other people in Algo, they're all about the use case, and the community itself isn't just about the crypto gains. Even like when we do make crypto gains, that's great, but we're also about like making the world a better place with the technology. All comes back to the technology.
Right.
But yeah, I like Algo because it is carbon negative. They have that partnership with Climate Trade. Um, they do have the Green Oracle to verify that their credits are actually doing their job. And when they support projects, they're not just like lying about it or duplicating the records that those projects are happening. It's verified, and they're actually saying that this is how much carbon is actually coming out of the atmosphere because of that project. I like that. And then there are different organizations they've collaborated with, different environmental causes. And I love that they actually stand for what they talk about. It's not greenwashing. Yeah.
Right. That is, and that's something you brought up in one of your videos, which is such a good point. As you know, like anyone could write a white paper, anyone can make a website, anyone can just claim things. So it's important to like really do your DD and get in there, make sure they're doing that. That's a really great point. So what do you like about VChain then, and how does it like, where does it fit in with Algorand?
Where does it fit in? I think, I mean, all these blockchains can exist simultaneously. Some have more specialties than others. I think VChain has just grown at a faster rate than Algorand, and they do have a strong community. So for wider crypto adoption, like VChain's a great ally to have. And yeah, I think they can both exist. It just depends like which companies decide to work with which based on their needs.
And just, I'm actually not honestly too familiar with VeChain. What is the blockchain all about?
What's their blockchain all around? Yeah, they're focused mainly on the supply chain. So everything from like the manufacturing to the seller to the consumer. And they track records of like in the agricultural industry, in just like different products, and they'll have it all tracked on the
Right,
VChain.
right. They just like almost
Yeah,
like a tracking number, like
yeah,
a FedEx tracking number
yeah.
on the
So it's
blockchain.
not tamperable. Yeah.
Yes.
Supply chain is what they really focus on there.
So with Algorand, like what about a lot of people hate on Algorand for something that a lot of people like to talk about all day long, which is tokenomics, right? It's got some rough ones there. So can you tell me a little bit about that and like why sometimes that sees some hate, I guess?
I know like recently too, people have been hating on things like yield too. They're like, oh, like it's uneven, the distribution. I think also as something that's younger, they're still working out their tokenomics too.
Right. I think I heard, no, this is just from Coin
Yeah,
Bureau for
yeah,
my
yeah.
research, for all my crypto knowledge. But they have like they started at like $2.30 as like an ICO or something like that, and then like immediate sell off, and then they just been trying to get the price back to like if you look at the like year-long chart, they've been trying to get it back, and it's been like it's always like tons of sell-off pressure, like right at $2.30. So what I find is a bummer is because Algorand I think has like such great potential is that people are hesitant to get into it because the tokenomics are they think, oh, this, if I hold on to the algo token, it's not going to moon or whatever, or it's not going to grow, which is a bummer because it's like the most functional blockchain ever, like at least right now, in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
opinion.
I think people are so used to like when they first get into crypto too, they're like they like hear about all like the shit coins and like the meme coins are like, okay, like these are gonna moon, and they're like, oh, like those aren't long-term holds though. But something like Algorand, like if you believe in the technology, then personally, like I believe like these are long-term holds because like eventually like these are stable things that are gonna keep growing as so much keeps joining the Algorand ecosystem. I want to know your opinion though, Elliot, on one thing. What do you think
Yeah.
about people who invest in a lot of these meme coins, like just for those quick gains to put those back into something like Algorand? Like, not that we give financial advice, but what do you think about that strategy? Because I know some people have been telling me that's what they're thinking of doing.
So the strategy is take the profits and invest in like a company like the grain or like the actual buy like algo token or something like
The
that.
actual algo token or other tokens that they plan on having more long-term holds.
That's interesting. Um, I mean, I'm always just, hey, make money if you can make money,
Yeah,
but don't do it at the expense of others. I think like
yeah,
a good capitalistic society is a win for everybody. So it should be a win for good projects and it should be a win for your bank account. And then maybe you can find a way, like there's a lot of opportunities, especially with Terra Luna ecosystem where you can earn passive income on your crypto. So if you do make crazy gains, park that in something like Anchor Protocol and make passive income, or yeah, buy like Cardano, Algorand, stake it. You can help grow the ecosystem and make passive income that way. I think that's really a fantastic way to do it. That also helps, mass adoption and like the ecosystems grow. The part where it gets like basically Squid Game is just what you don't want to happen. It's like rug pulls upon rug pulls, and it's just like purely like first come, first serve, and everyone gets screwed. I think there is a way to invest in shitcoins that still is not harmful.
yeah. But the moment you start harming other people and you start just like going in and then immediately going out, you know there's going to be people who are going to be screwed over. Like that's where I feel kind of funny about it, and the shit.
Yeah, I definitely don't want you don't want something like that. Like, but like something like Doge would was started as a meme and is I mean it's been pretty stable at like what 20 cents or something like that for a while now. Um, you could maybe take a little profit and I mean I've done that is put it in. I bought more Cardano, and then I staked that Cardano at Delegator. Actually, I stake with. I'm very shameless about it, but I stake with Impawa. I'm sure you
Mhm.
know all about
Yeah,
that project.
Cardano,
So I stay with that project and I make a little passive income and everybody wins. It's good for Impawa, it's good for Cardano, and good for me. I make the passive income. So I think maybe that's a quick example of like it doesn't have to be harmful. Now there is actually there is a way to get funding. So like I'm sure you know that like Algorand is one of the top funded VC funded blockchains out there.
yeah.
And they are using like the $300 million investment to reinvest into the algo community and algo projects. And you can go on their website right now and look up like your project and how much like where it fits in. First of all, is it like a use case? Is it like developer? Are you trying to make a program? And then you can actually contact the team, submit your proposal, and get a certain amount of funding. They have like a cap. So like for the one I'm applying to, for example, it is up to $300,000 to start your Algorand project. Um, but I don't know if you've heard about this at all. But I'm just kind of curious, like what you think would a successful project or what the Algorand ecosystem needs.
I know there's like more NFTs growing on Algorand, and I think just like more, yeah, more things related to NFTs, I think is what it needs, especially if it wants to be competitive with things like OpenSea. And I think people said like, oh, like they're reluctant to join Algorand because the community isn't big enough yet. But I think if there's more and more resources for NFTs and NFT marketplaces, I think that's what's really needed right now, especially since NFTs are really booming.
Right. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like even use the grain company yesterday as a use case. How, for people that don't know, if they know about NFTs, they just think CryptoPunk or Bored
Yeah.
Apes. Right? How does that fit in with grain?
Oh yeah, well with his he's just creating NFTs based on his different granola flavors. I mean, you could also track that on the blockchain, a supply chain kind of thing. But what Brian's doing with All Good Granola is he has a bunch of different flavors, and then with every NFT purchase, you also get some free granola bars right now. I think for a limited time.
Cool.
But every time you buy an NFT or a granola bar, proceeds also go towards an environmental charity or a charity to fight hunger.
Mm,
So very much a climate justice focus.
that is super cool.
Yeah, yeah,
All right. So, why Algorand though versus for that NFT,
yeah, yeah.
which is like Solana, the fastest blockchain out there, or Cardano, you now CNFTs.
Mhm.
Let's just assume you don't want to do Ethereum.
Okay, assuming you don't want to do Ethereum at
I
all.
mean, I don't know why. There's not that many
We love
downsides.
gas fees. We love gas fees. Yeah, yeah. I think it's more the Algorand community is the kind of community who likes that kind of stuff. I think like that's your audience. That's the people who like upcycled granola bars from breweries, like super sustainable. You have something that has a humanitarian focus to it. And I think just like that big environmental part. And like he has, I think, recycled packaging or biodegradable packaging too that he uses. So it's very like all through the process of creating this product, everything is sustainable. And Algorand best fits that bill.
I couldn't have said it better. I love that. I have looked into the Solana NFTs, and those are pretty fast to create too. But yeah, the community for Solana is like pretty. It seems like could be like I could be wrong here, but like kind of gamer focused.
Yeah, that's what I got the vibe with that. And it was less the environmentally focused folks. And I think people who would be interested in that kind of NFT would be the environmental people rather than the gamers, but they can be both. Yeah.
Right. Hopefully. I'm curious where Cardano is going to fit in, and I debate this all the time. I would love your thoughts on it. Like, honestly, I think of like, when I think of a blockchain for use cases, I kind of think like you gotta commit to one sort of. Like, if you're gonna mint your NFTs for a business, let's say, you can't really. It'd be weird if you're like minting all over the place on different blockchains. I think right now, at least, maybe
Oh,
Poke.
There might be one in the future, I think, where you have like different ones for
Yeah.
reason.
Maybe God will come in with the save and be like, mint anywhere, it's all the same. And I don't know. But I've often debated like the use cases of Cardano versus Algorand. And obviously Cardano's still in its early infancy phases compared to Algorand in terms of use case. Like, I mean, it's got a Basho's like 2025. So we're like a long way off on that. But I'm curious what you think like uh, where are some of the advantages and disadvantages to Algorand versus Cardano, specifically for NFTs?
Specifically for NFTs. Again, I think it's also based on the community. The Cardano community is a lot bigger, but they do also have a really strong community. So you might see more value in your NFTs depending on some of the CNFTs, just because the community is so much bigger and it's a lot more well known than Algorand. But that could change. And I know Algorand did develop it all out quicker than Cardano was out to get smart contracts. So yeah, it just
Right.
depends on like who your community, who your focus audience is, and your goals with your project.
It is Impala is interesting to me
Mm-hmm.
because obviously it's the first use case, but like that project honestly feels like it could have been on Algorand too, for sure.
It could have been, yeah. It seems like Cardano also had a lot of those connections in Africa, so maybe that's
Mm,
why they chose Cardano. But yeah, it could definitely have been an Algorand project if they wanted to.
yeah, for sure. And is it, I mean, the fact that like Algorand is able to go, the transactions are so fast is partly due to the fact that it's still fairly centralized.
Hmm.
And now being so well funded by VCs, does that make you hesitant at all? Like the fact like they have like strings attached essentially?
I mean, personally, I think from what I've interacted with in the community, people have common goals with the use cases. They have common goals with what they want to do with Algorand, and it doesn't seem like they're like manipulating it in a bad direction. But I could see why people are reluctant to get more into the Algorand community because of this like more centralized um, layout
Right.
now.
But you mentioned the Algorand community, and obviously they're pretty strong. Can you describe a little bit of your experience with the Algorand community thus far?
Yeah. I actually haven't met many people in the Algorand community in person. I did go to some Bitcoin events and Cardano events when I was at the Bitcoin Miami event over the summer. So that
Oh,
was
you went to
interesting.
that?
I went to that, yeah.
I'm so
Those
jealous.
events there, and that was something. Something it was
I
like
bet
one of the, like the
that
in-person things I had done in a while too, like since the beginning of the pandemic. So I was like, whoa, a little overwhelmed, but
0 to 100 real fast.
yeah, from like quarantine after like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I think both the Cardano and the Algorand community, a lot of them tend to like read the white papers more. They tend to follow the research a little bit closer. Again, the technology a little bit closer. Um, I think like there's some overlap. There's some people in the Algorand and Cardano community who are super similar, but there are some in the Cardano community who are definitely just like in it for like the crypto gains. But there's less of that in the Algorand community, and they're just like there because they really like long term really believe in the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I do like that, obviously, like Algorand, but they're both super academic
they
focused.
are. They are. Yeah.
Like, I love it when I can never finish a white paper. That's a great sign. Like, you're done your when your white paper is literally a entire web page and it's like hundreds and hundreds and like sections, like Algorand's is like part
Mhm.
one, part two. I'm like, oh my God, all right. Yeah, all right. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you did good. All right, I'll believe you. I'm getting kind of like salty if the white paper's only like 10 pages.
What's up here? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's going on? Even if it's like an NFT, like baby aliens, and I'm like, 2-page white paper. I know you're just baby aliens, but hear me out. Gotta have more sections to this. Um,
So, yeah.
yeah, which I am still trying to sell
Mhm.
unsuccessfully.
Yeah, I've been just from like my interactions like with both communities, basically like from YouTube, from Reddit, online. So I haven't interacted with people in person with Algorand yet.
Well, they have a this later this month, right? They have a
They have the Algorand thing in Miami. Yeah, they have that conference.
Miami again. What
Yeah,
is up with
and yeah,
that?
I won't be flying out to Miami this time.
I
I'll be in
can't wait.
California for Thanksgiving, so can't make that.
Oh, nice. Okay, okay. I wish I was here. I'll be going to my hometown for Thanksgiving. Um, but I would love to go to the Algorand, one of these like Algorand communities and stuff like
You
that.
too.
Eventually down the line. I think it's called Decipher
Yeah,
event.
yeah, this side.
Yeah. Um, there is this is how actually I got started on this whole thing was a virtual, but it is in person too. It's called a blockchain real estate summit. Um, and Algorand made an appearance, like one of their spokesmen made an appearance, and that was like what really like got me set off down this. Some would call it journey, some would call it rabbit hole. But it's like blockchain real estate is the first conference ever. I think it was I can't remember. It was in Austin, Texas. But it's pretty much this like new field called RealFi.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've heard about it at all. Like it's pretty much was coined during Cardano's summit in September. And literally on the spot by Charles Hoskins. He's like, "Yeah, we're calling it RealFi." And now, like, boom, you look on like on the internet, it's like I've been a real fi investor for. I'm like, no, you haven't. He literally made it up.
When that, like,
Not a thing, not a thing yet. But Algorand is like really
mhm.
was doing it before, but they talked about like there's people we it's what really like to me like triggers like oh I got to pay attention is where you have real estate professionals who know nothing about technology not into blockchain, not into the pump and dumps. And they're old white people, baby boomers who are using blockchain. I was like, whoa, you got to really pay attention to this thing.
Mhm.
If they're doing it, oh my God.
I know there's some buildings in New York right now that you can buy in Bitcoin. I read about that recently.
That's crazy. Have you heard of something called BitPay?
Yeah.
So if you go on Lofty AI, for example, you can't actually buy it with crypto yet. Um, you have to pay just like normal credit card or fiat ACH transfer. But they're trying to integrate, and I think Algorand as a whole is like struggling with this. So it's like trying to pay, like especially bridging like other cryptos and stuff like that onto the blockchain and pay with that. That's something they're struggling with. But right now, if you wanted to go a different route, you could use BitPay, which only accepts like the main
Hmm.
like blockbuster cryptos, but I think they are adding more and stuff like that. Um,
There's BitPay. There's also like StormX has their debit card now.
oh,
And there's
interesting.
also VGX. There's the Voyager digital card that just came out this week, I think, or the pre-sale came out this week. And I think it's like linked to USDC, but you can like convert your crypto into that and then have that through your debit card. I think starting early next year.
Okay, definitely John that one. John
Yeah.
that one down. That's awesome.
A lot of
I
things are trying to like give you crypto rewards too. So like you get crypto back for buying things in crypto.
okay. I actually made it's not out yet, but I made a video. I was one of the first people. Like I was like literally like 100 in line for this thing.
Nice.
The
You're
BlockFi.
in
Did you have
line.
this? Yeah, I got in line. Like I actually like you can text people the referral code. I'm like, just sign up to get me ahead in the line and stuff like that. Because it like bumps you up more people you refer. Have you heard about this credit card at all?
No, I haven't.
It's the worst. It's the worst ever. I thought when I was gotten like this, like see like this big Bitcoin logo, I'm like, I'm sticking it to the man. I'm gonna like pay my credit card off with like GUSD or something like man, what a dis it's like, oh, it's a Bitcoin rewards card. Like it works like a normal credit card, except we'll give you just like at a time of our choosing a little bit of Bitcoin for free. I'm like, well, could you at least choose the dip? How about that? Like, how about we select that? And they're like, oh, sorry, we just
Really
bought.
small fraction, like a couple pennies. So
No, it literally is like 0.00001. I'm like, oh my God. And of course, they buy it like when it pumps at like 60. They're like, yeah, now you got your Bitcoin. I'm like, oh, you could have done it like last week when it was at 40. Oh my gosh. So definitely a disappointment. You got to watch out for those credit cards. Like, are they a Bitcoin? Are they crypto cards or the crypto rewards? And when do they reward it? Because at some point someone's got to buy the thing. So any other like things that I mean, obviously I've been more drawn to Algorand day by day. I'm pitching to Algorand soon, but anything else that you want to share that you've as you go in deeper into the algo community that you like to share with people?
I mean, as they come up, I'll just keep sharing on the channel.
Yeah.
I'm always on the lookout of like what's new, and there's just always so much more growing. I mean, originally I intend to have this be mostly an algo channel, but like it's become more and more of an algo channel because just so much has been growing and so many environmental things too.
That would be cool. I didn't actually even think about that, but you should, I mean, you should pitch Algorand. I'm not even joking. Like they could use more media. I think that's something that Algo struggles with is that their demographic skews pretty old.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it is not like the Ethereum community is like definitely under 35 for sure. And like I think Algo could use a little bit more of that. So that it
Yeah.
could be
Yeah, I was
worth a
talking to
pitch.
a friend at one point. I think at one point we might mint our own Algorand NFTs. I'm writing music right now with climate data, with a data sonification. So at
Wait,
some point, yeah.
what? What? You're writing music with climate data?
Yeah. So when I did my master's, I took a data sonification class. So you can use Python to do like direct sonifications with any data. So I've been using different data sets, figuring out like what will sound good and like what will communicate what's happening with climate change. And then I have a friend who like does lo-fi beats and it's gonna make it sound good.
I
So that
am
might be an
so
algorithm
here for
at some
this.
point. Yeah.
I am so here for that. Holy shit. Wow. I cannot wait to study on Spotify to your green data like beats like while I'm like jamming out.
What's happening with climate change, but like make it sound good, dance to it.
You're just gonna be you with like the cat and like an algo like on the window like chatting away, typing away. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been great chatting with you, Elliot. But that's it for us today. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. Can they follow you on Twitter? How do you want people to support your channel?
I'm on YouTube
Yeah, he's
at
on YouTube. You can follow Elliot Invest. Reach out to him there. And yeah, feel free to hit him a subscribe too if you want to support his content. And let us know what else you'd like to learn in the future. And if you have any comments too for what we're doing, we'd love to keep sharing more content with you. But we'll see you next time, everyone. Bye.
I this is the convincing crypto wave.
Just become a thing.